Okay, so I want to talk to you about something that a lot of women feel but don't always say out loud. And it's this. They say, I love my partner, I really do, but sometimes I feel like I'm the only one growing. Maybe you've done a lot of therapy, you've read the books, you're doing the inner work, and you look at your partner and you think, why aren't you doing the same? And if you've ever felt that, then this video is for you. What do you do when your partner isn't growing the way that you want them to? Not just how do you handle it, but also what role are you playing in it? Because that part is something that nobody really talks about. And I think it's the most important part. So I'm going to walk you through these 5 layers. Each one builds on the last one, so stay for the last one because it's the most important one. And each one of these layers have a takeaway you can actually use. So let's go. Layer 1. Here's something really beautiful about being in a relationship. And that is that you see your partners in ways that nobody else does. What a honor, right? And you see them every day. You see their habits. You see their patterns. You see the things that they do without even them knowing that they're doing it. You see their brilliance and you see their blind spots. And that is a really unique thing, a thing that nobody else has about them, for them. It's actually a gift. But here's the thing. You don't just see who they are, you see who they could be, right? And that is where it gets complicated. Because when you can see someone's potential so clearly, it's really tempting to want to hand it to them. Like here's your blind spot and now fix it. You point it out, you bring it up in conversations, you give them feedback, and you try to help them get there faster. And I get it, I totally get it. It comes from love and it comes from caring. But here's what I've learned by doing the same mistake, is that people don't change because someone just points it out to them. They change when they are ready to. When they are ready to feel it, when it becomes their idea. That's a big one. So your job in layer 1 that we're talking about here is not to fix them, which I think you may already know, but it's definitely not to coach them, which we sometimes tend to do, and it's not to hand them their growth on a plate. Your job is to hold space, to have compassion, to let them be imperfect, which can be hard. Because love isn't just celebrating someone's best self, it's also being okay with where they are right now. And that starts with our own self-love, doesn't it? You see them, but you don't take over their process. But here's where it gets a little bit more complicated, layer 2. What happens when their lack of growth starts affecting your life, when it starts to inconvenience you, when there's consequences for their, growth edges. Compassion is easy to talk about. It's easy to say, I'll just let them grow at their own pace, until it starts costing you something. And by that time, I mean, maybe their poor decisions affect your money. Maybe their slowness affects your time. Maybe you end up carrying more of the emotional weight. Maybe you feel like you're moving forward in life and they're holding you back. That's not a small thing. That's real, and it can be really hard. And it's okay to say their process is valid and it's impacting me. Both things can be true at the same time. So, what do you do when you're in this situation? First, you have a conversation, right? Not blaming conversation, not shaming conversation, not a here's everything wrong with you conversation, not here's what is frustrating me conversation. Just a clear, calm, honest conversation. Hey, when this happens, it affects me in this way. Are you aware of it? That's it. Name the impact without attacking who they are as a person. Second, you get clear on your boundaries. And I don't mean this in a harsh way where there's a line, but really looking at where you're able to absorb that pain and where you're not. That might look like, financial boundaries. I can't keep covering this. Or it might look like emotional ones. I can't keep carrying this one alone. Or it might look like, a responsibility one where I need you to take ownership of this part. Boundaries aren't walls, they're just clarity. They're you knowing where you end and where they begin. Third thing is to find support that doesn't enable them. There's a difference between supporting someone's growth and just doing it for them, right? Because it's just easier, faster that way. Support looks like, I believe in you, let me help you out, let me have patience for you in this process. Looks like, you can't seem to do this one, so I'll just do it for you. The key phrase here is support without replacing. Help them, yes, but don't become the thing that removes their need to grow, right? Don't do it for them. When it costs you something, you speak up, you set limits, and you support without taking over. Here's layer 3, a little bit more uncomfortable, but helpful. And that is understanding that you don't just observe the problem, sometimes you participate in it. And let me explain what I mean by that. So there's a pattern called overfunctioning, and it goes like this. You see a gap, you step in, you compensate, you fix it. And then you feel a little bit resentful, and then nothing really changes, and then you step in again, and this pattern reemerges. You basically took over, right? Sound familiar? Every time you step over your own line to fix it for them, you're actually removing their reason to do it themselves, which means you are unintentionally enabling the very thing that frustrates you and also robbing them for their own personal growth. And that's a hard thing to sit with. But it's also really freeing when you're in this situation because it usually means that you have the power here. If you stop over-functioning, the dynamic can shift. And what does that actually look like? It looks like not doing it for them, not rescuing them, not collapsing into fixing mode and when something goes wrong. And it's really painful to watch people fail, and I get it, but that's the work. And that is important because it doesn't mean that you disengage. It doesn't mean that you stop caring. It just means that you stay present, stay connected, and you just stay on your side of the line. Looking at the role you're playing and asking yourself, am I over-functioning? Am I being caretaker? Am I enabling? Okay, so layer 4, the most uncomfortable part, is the reality that growth requires failure. And it's most likely that your partner just never had the reality or the experience to actually fail and learn this thing. And maybe in the past you did. Maybe you're the older one and they're the youngest one. Something somewhere happened where they didn't get to actually learn that. And so real growth actually requires that experience. Because here's what happens when we don't let people fail. The other person may build a resentment, they feel maybe controlled by the situation, and they never get to that chance to grow. Imagine if you just did everything for your child and you kind of didn't set them up for the real world. I'm not saying your partner is your child, but you have to allow your kid to learn, right? And you don't let them learn by doing everything for them. They have to grow. It's painful to watch that process because reality is that in this area, your partner is still growing, right? And the most important part of all of this is celebrate the little wins. Not in a condescending way, but in a real way. Acknowledge the small wins, the small steps. The last layer of this, layer 5, is after all that awareness at the boundaries, the patterns, the failure, the growth, what does real support actually look like? Because there is a version of this where you show up for your partner without losing yourself in the process. And it sounds like this. I see you. I trust your process. I'm here. And that's it. Not fixing, not managing, not parenting them, really important, and not carrying it all. Just presence, grounded, on your side. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but how do I hold space for them when I'm also being impacted? And that's the real question. Here's the real honest answer. You stay connected to yourself first. You notice when your nervous system is activated. You notice when you're acting from urgency instead of clarity. You notice when your partner's emotions are impacting you. And of course they do, because you love them and you care for them. But how do you keep that care and love to yourself and not really come with that uncomfortability that you feel when your partner is struggling or is in pain? Because when you care about someone so deeply and you still stay rooted in who you are and hold your own feelings so it's not spilling over their experience, that is the healthy version of love. Not two people who are completely enmeshed, but two people who are fully themselves and are choosing to do life together. Because the relationships that grow, the ones that actually get better over time, are the ones where both people are willing to look at themselves, not just at each other, but their own part of the dynamic that they're creating. If this resonated with you, I really want to keep exploring this, because I think this is something a lot of relationships quietly struggle with, and nobody's really talking about it, honestly. So if you want more of this, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and let me know what landed for you. And if you're in the middle of something like this right now, I'd love to hear what layer felt most true for you. I'll see you in the next one.